Hey everyone. Alright. While I was beating my brains out on Dragon Warrior 2 today, which, yes, I'm still beating my brains out on it, especially this one section I gotta triumph over. That game's got issues, we'll get into it on the review. I got to think about something. It has something to do with something that's in here. Does anybody remember when they were a kid? Well, to do that, right? If any of us are 30 or under, we'll generally remember basically between, well, we'll say around 30. Basically around 1981, maybe a little before. You generally remember the game shows and the cartoons that you used to watch when you were a kid. Now, I really started watching television hardcore probably around 86 when the game shows were really heavy. You know, Press Your Luck, the reruns anyway. Wink Martindale's High Rollers. Let me think. Wipeout with Peter Tomorkin, and just some other great game shows. But that's not actually what's in there. What's in here? In the, I want to say, the late 80s, early 90s, Nintendo decided they wanted to try something. I think most of you know where this is going. They decided they were going to create a television property out of two of their biggest franchises. One, of course, was the Super Mario Brothers series. The other one was this. For those of you that don't know, yes, this is actually a disc that belongs to the Legend of Zelda cartoon series, which ran for 13 episodes on Fridays during the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Monday to Thursday belonged to Super Mario Brothers, and the other days belonged, for the 13 weeks, belonged to the cartoon series. And then, of course, there was the 4 times the series that Link and Zelda appeared on this guy, Captain and the Game Master. Now, I bring this up because a lot of people know that I am hardcore into Japanese animation, and one of my favorite series is the Sailor Moon franchise. Matter of fact, as I've explained to somebody, I'm ordering the omnibuses as they are getting released. Already have the first book on order and the one for the codename Sailor V. Anyway, another cartoon series that a lot of you may not be aware of, and that one is a gaming related one, but another one that a lot of you may not be aware of that I enjoyed, there was 2 specifically, belonged on what was called the Amazing Adventures series, which aired around usually on, I think, Sunday mornings through various, it was syndicated. They had, different TV stations. I think PHL 17 or GTW 48 were like the two stations that aired here. And it had literally 2 of my favorite series. By the way, they also had Double Dragon, but that's not the one I'm going to mention. One was called King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, which was quite interesting. Sadly, it was my favorite that was never actually finished properly. But the other one was, in theory. And that one actually introduced me to the entire magical girl genre of... magical girl heroine genre of, TV. And that, my friends, belonged to Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders. Yeah. Laugh all you want. I enjoyed that series. Matter of fact, I'm here to tell you that before Sailor Moon, I taped every episode of Sailor Moon religiously. I taped every episode of the 2 seasons that Princess Guinevere was around. Yeah, I was a bit of a nerd when it came to TV shows, because here's my thing. That's actually also one thing that started getting me into cartoon series where you can find characters that you liked and you connected with. Because unfortunately, and it was an American television program, because up until that point, most of the series I enjoyed, let me think, Pound Puppies, Thundercats. I enjoyed Thundercats. He-Man, She-Ra, stuff like that. Most of those stories were one-offed. So one episode didn't affect the other, which affected the other, which affected the other, which affected the other. It's actually why I'm so hardcore in Japanese animation, because every episode pretty much affects one another. The way the stories are done. It's actually also what's gotten me into Korean dramas, believe it or not. What was I watching on what we have called Media Independent here in New Jersey? It was called there was a Korean drama called Please Marry Me. That was actually pretty good. Well, I kind of caught it towards the end, and I wish I had seen it, straight through. I might actually have to go look for that box set sometime. But this got me thinking. I want you, we'll sort of make this a tag if you want. I want you to name me one gaming related cartoon animated series that you liked, and one, at least one, you can do more of each, by the way, if you want, and one non-gaming animated series, minimum. You can do more, but at least one minimum. Let's have some fun with this, because I think it'd be cool just to see. Oh, and if you want to have some real fun, throw in a game show. So let's do it this way. One gaming-related cartoon series that you enjoyed. One non-gaming related cartoon series that you enjoyed. And, for the hell of it, one game show that you rightfully enjoyed as growing up. Now, this won't be for everybody, because there's some people that I know will say, well, I'm not really into the whole nostalgia trip. That's fine. You don't have to participate if you don't want to. But for the rest of us that actually enjoy, that want to remember when we were a kid and enjoying the days when we could watch, really good programming. I mean, to me, it's sad now that most of the programming that I watch comes out of the U.S. I actually watched recently a full episode of this is going to sound weird, Golden Balls, which is a UK game show, which kind of reminded me of Friend or Foe here in the U.S. a bit, but it was actually pretty good. Friend or Foe, Weakest Link, kind of combo. Pretty interesting stuff. I'm not going to do a tag response to this, although I sort of kind of did when I mentioned one of my favorite non-gaming related shows. But what say you, YouTube community? You can do video responses. Excuse me. You can do a video response, or you can do regular responses, text responses. For those of you using here we go again. For those of you using Cosmic Panda, it might be hard to do a video response because they don't have that feature incorporated yet. But for the rest of you, if you want to do a video response, that's fine. Or if you would like to send me your video response, and you want to tag it RE, whatever, that's cool. Whatever floats your boat, gang. Anyways, you all have a good one. I will talk to you, hopefully, after I get done Dragon Warrior 2, if that game hasn't drove me around the bend. You have a good night.